Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the podcast here for our weekly podcast, Conquest, episode 30. You know the drill. It's your host, SMGFrenzy, joined with.
Hey Carly, you know what it is. No, it's Assassin or Angel, however y'all guys know me as well. We're back with another podcast, I guess, trying to get back into the flow of things again. So we're still trying to record again. Still trying to get back into the rhythm. But yeah, like I said, episode 30 of season 2, technically.
Mhm.
Um, we got a good amount of stuff to talk about. Main thing being the Xbox showcase, which was a lot more than I expected. Um, but can't wait to get to that topic when we get there. But not that many like big topics though. That pretty much Halo Xbox is gonna take most of the majority of the time, but everything is gonna be quick and simple. We're gonna be as quick and efficient because it's a lot from the Xbox showcase that we have to go down.
Yeah.
And yeah, but with that being said, let's get right into it, Mokhtar. Let's
Yeah,
kick us
exactly.
off.
And since this week's topic, since the Xbox showcase will probably take up the most time, we're going to do reverse order this time. We're going to start with general news, then go into esports and gaming, since general news is very slow for this week. And starting off with general news, we have The Boys Season 4, which has been advertising a lot everywhere. It's been very hyped, especially after the events that happened in the last season. I won't spoil it if you haven't watched it. But Season 4
Which
returns June 13th, which is this Thursday,
this
actually the same
Thursday.
day when the episode comes out. It will be let me check real quickly. It is a 3 episode premiere, then after that, 1 episode each week, all the way up till June 18th. So you get roughly about 3 hours of The Boys this week, since each episode's roughly about an hour. So it's like a movie premiere, and then you get your daily dose, your weekly dose of The Boys for the next monthish. Should
Wait,
be fun.
June 18th? You mean July 18th?
July 18th, yeah.
So
So
that's what. So technically, it would be three, four, five, six, 8 episodes,
yeah, 8 episodes.
roughly close to an hour each. So,
Yeah.
yeah, show's been long overdue. It's been about almost 2 years now since the last season came out, right?
Yep.
And we did get Gen V in between, but wasn't one of their hits. But characters will appear in the boys. If you haven't watched Gen V,
Mm-hmm.
be sure to watch that before the boys in the next. Well, you should have already watched it, or at least caught up, or look it up to be caught up with the characters that are going to appear in the show. But yeah, long awaited 2 years. There's already news about a fifth season being, I guess, renewed. So there will
Yeah.
be another season after this one, which means suspense
Hey,
awaits us.
any
Or
Homelander fans, you don't have to fear about him dying, because he's definitely going to
you
appear
don't
in the
know.
finale.
You
No, there's
don't know.
no way they kill off
You
Homelander.
don't know. You don't know.
Okay. Okay.
You've seen shows cut off their best characters and proceed with the show. The
I
Walking Dead, for example.
I feel like if they were to kill off anyone in the boys, it'd be Butch.
I mean, from the way it sounds, there he's sick and he doesn't have much left to give.
Mm.
I mean, yeah, but we'll see. Yeah, long awaited. Can't wait to start watching it. I've been dying to watch and see how it kicks off and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
pretty excited. I mean, think I got you into it, or did you already
You
or you've
got
been
me
wanting
into
one?
it. You're the one who got
So
me into it.
the only reason why I watched it is because a coworker recommended it to me, and I was behind like maybe 3 seasons
Mm.
or 2 seasons. So when the third season came out, I just started watching The Boys, and I realized how good the show was.
Mm.
So it's up there. Prime has been releasing really good shows with these last, and The Boys have been their main, like I guess, big show that they've released,
Mm.
which has taken a hit, and not taken a hit, but how do I say it? It's caught the attention of others, and it's a really good show. It's very different from like modern day, I guess, superhero slash villain shows
Mm.
by a lot, not even close. But yeah, I got into it because it was this interesting, and then stuff like that, and then I, obviously I spread my wisdom to the show to certain couple people. Told you about it. You pretty much enjoyed it.
Yep.
Um, and my other friend, I binge watched the 4 seasons with them at his house almost every night for the last 2 months.
Okay.
Watched like 3 episodes a day. So he's hooked, and he's been anticipated to watch it as well. And I think we're gonna binge watch it again together. So
Okay.
I'm gonna be watching The Boys with somebody this time. So, but yeah, I'm excited. Like I said, long overdue. I know I'm blabbing a lot, but it's a good show, man. It's really good. You should, if you haven't got into it, I'd recommend if you want to try something new, especially from, I guess, the typical boring hero stuff slash villain arcs.
Well,
It's just
it's
a,
interesting that
it's a very different style. But go ahead, sorry.
Amazon's two superhero shows, Invincible and The Boys, are also like two of the most different superhero shows out there because it's not the same old hero defeats villain and whatnot. Both of them have taken that concept and really turned it on its head. Where in The Boys, you don't even really know who the heroes are because sometimes even the
The
guys that we're rooting
hero.
for aren't like the heroes aren't heroes, and then the guys that we're rooting for also do bad things. And then in Invincible, you have like the hero who also actually isn't a hero, and then say similar
It,
concepts.
it's pretty weird to think that the way the boys like people I see it is think of it if our time, like us right now,
Hmm.
if heroes were in our like actual life perspective and how they would really act instead of all this fake, they're really good, but you would never know how they really are behind the cameras and stuff like that, which I guess is it's a lot more interesting than I thought it was gonna be.
Hmm.
But I caught like on after like the first episode.
Hmm.
I was hooked after the first episode. Very different style of I guess comic book era, not era, type style of superheroes and villains.
Hmm.
I like it. It seems like you'd enjoyed it. And you kind of, I mean, we're all kind of excited for the people who really like the boys for the new season and what it brings
Yep.
and where it's going to go. So excited. Be on the lookout for June 13th of the boys, or when this podcast comes out today,
Same. Yeah.
whenever it's projected to drop. But yeah, excited. Can't wait.
Yeah, exactly. And then to move on in general news to our other topic, which also happens to be TV show related. If you have Disney Plus and are watching The Acolyte right now, it had its 2 episode premiere last Wednesday, and the reactions have been very interesting because a lot of people who watched it that day said they liked it, but then also there's a big portion of the community. I won't go too far into it because unfortunately it's very political, but there's a decent amount of people online that have been review bombing the Acolyte because it doesn't have enough of a white cast apparently. As a result, its Rotten Tomato score looks pretty abysmal, but I promise you, it's not a bad show. It's a pretty I would say it's a 7 out of 10 Disney show right now. Star Wars fans, I think you'll be excited for what's going to happen in this series. It's not like The Mandalorian, I would say. It's more like if you're a fan of the prequel movies, I think you would like this series. But yeah, the Acolyte, like Acolyte's every Wednesday, The Boys is every Thursday. Some good television coming out the next month and a half
Mhm.
so far.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then that's it for our general news. We'll go straight into esports and
That's
gaming, starting
it.
off. Yeah, it's really short. there wasn't too much that wasn't like controversial that we could talk about in general news.
Besides, the big topic,
Yeah.
well, we're not going to get that.
No, yeah. But yeah, in esports and gaming, we'll go. Of course, we'll go to T1 and League. Lots of the leagues have started recently. LCK has not started just yet, but T1 actually made an announcement a few days ago. And T1 fans, when they see that announcement box, they get super worried because usually that means something bad. Of course, it was something bad, but not like groundbreaking bad. The T1 just announced that all their streamers have been suspended from streaming on their platforms because they continue to get DDoSed. Faker, Gamusi, Carrier, Owner, all of them are getting DDoSed when they stream, and it still has not been resolved. And they said it's not the LCK's fault because the LCK doesn't oversee Riot servers. They're blaming Riot Korea for still not addressing this issue after
Couple
6 months,
months.
basically the beginning
Yeah.
of the year since the season started. And when the LCK themselves were getting DDoSed, I'm not sure if you saw clips from a Carrier streamer. He was getting like actually frustrated because he would get into a game, it would last for 10 minutes, and gets ruined instantly. He can't do anything. His account gets temporarily banned for the match ending prematurely or whatnot. And it's just I don't. I understand T1's pain, and when you're streaming, you can't necessarily hide like your gamer tag. People are gonna know. it's you, so they can jump into your lobby and mess up everything. So T1 is justified to call out Red Korea, and we'll see if Red Korea can actually do. I'm not sure what they would do, but some sort of defense to make their servers stronger. I don't know.
I don't know. We've talked about it a lot these last couple of weeks. It's kind of getting, kind of angering the players and I guess T1's organization that it hasn't been resolved. It's pretty weird that it's only, affecting them the most. Don't know what they're doing out there not get this resolved. There has to be like, I don't know what's going on over there, with their servers and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it does need to get resolved. Obviously, players like to, I guess, stream for their fans and interact with them, and it gives them. I guess it gives another interaction from fans to the players.
Mm-hmm.
And for that not to be there, you don't know much about the player, what they're going through, what they have going on. All you'll be able to see them is just compete and what they got to say in the interviews. But they do got to figure this out. It's kind of getting annoying that pretty much every week we're talking, or every other week we're talking about T1 not being able to, I guess, do anything because of DDoS. And we've been talking this for a while, and it hasn't been resolved, and it's a big issue.
Yeah.
Hopefully, with I guess T1 going on strike, they'll resolve something quick or something. I don't know, but yeah, it sucks for the players, for the organization, and for the fans. But it's not the league's fault. More so, like you said, Riot.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah, we'll see if Red Korea can get anything up because I think, as a lot of League fans know, just because T1 is streaming and not scrimming, still that extra gameplay is still a practice for them that they're missing out on. They Faker streams like 4 or 5 hours a day, and so do the other T1 players. So it's just extra practice for their skills that they have to refine in one of the most competitive leagues. So hopefully this can get resolved at a sooner date rather than later before the season starts. But we'll see. But to move on from that, our other gaming topic before Xbox is the COD reveal.
Wait,
I believe. Wait, unless you have something else.
no, remember we talked about the Spartan ban or
Oh,
might get banned.
yeah, yeah.
Well,
Oh,
now
yeah. So
literally
Halo.
the day after. But go ahead.
I forgot about that. But Complexity has dropped Halo
No,
player
well,
Spartan.
no, you have to now. Oh, you
Well,
have to say that the
I'll get there.
league.
No, well, the league. Okay, HCS has banned Spartan for 1 year, and then Complexity, as a
Well,
result, has
well,
banned
is it a
Spartan.
year? Is
Yeah,
it a year or
it's a
is it the
year.
remaining of the year?
No, they said the 1 year ban.
Oh, so from okay,
So
so
it's a 1 year
dang.
ban on Spartan, and Complexity did not challenge the situation and instead have decided to drop Spartan and actually another player from their roster because roster mania is now happening in Halo. But this has really upended the Complexity roster because I assume they're probably going to drop one depending on how far they would have went. But now they have two players gone because one is banned. Spartan, of course, has come out and challenged the HCS's standing, saying that if he's going to be banned, he admits that he actually did something wrong, which is rare. But also, he said that he doesn't believe he should have been banned for a year, more like at least 1 or 2 tournaments. And a bunch of other Halo players, like I'm trying to remember. I think Lethal, many people from Optic, some from the other teams have come out and actually come in support of Spartan, saying that he should be banned for 1 to 2 events, or at least bare minimum be banned for Atlanta and be available for Worlds. It's a very interesting situation because the details keep changing now. People at first it sounded like Spartan's the one who brought the SSD for the thing. Now apparently it was HCS's SSD that he wasn't supposed to use, and it's like now it's like who's in the fault? Spartan's saying he's in the fault. HCS is saying he's in the fault. Other people saying HCS is in the fault, and now it's just I don't know. If anything, just to please both sides, have Spartan banned out for the remainder of the season, and then he can come back
I-
in.
That's what I thought. I
Yeah.
mean, that's what I was thinking. Not a year. That's. I mean, yes, it's wrong what he did. Obviously, we get that. I mean, but kind of. I mean, what was okay? Can you give more? I guess more in depth on why he was banned for what he did, so
So
people
when it
understand what's
was
going on.
initially framed, they said that Spartan brought in a thumb drive that he plugged into his PC that would allow him to play on a faster version of Halo Infinite, essentially. when all the pieces are supposed to have the same edition. And it sounded like Spartan brought it in himself from his PC, but apparently with recent details, apparently it's one of HCS's admin thumb drives that I don't know why he had it, but he had it and plugged it in and then took it out. And then he didn't use that for his tournament. He used the normal one that everybody uses for the tournament. So he never actually played a match with the boosted Halo Infinite edition. I believe he only played practice games on the boosted edition. But of course, regardless, playing on a boosted edition is in on Halo's rulebook. That is still against
Well,
the rules.
wouldn't that technically be two different games at that point? Like, wouldn't he not be able to play with anybody if they don't have that version of the game or not?
Well, no, because like I said, he was practicing with that version with people. It's still the same game.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay, gotcha. All right.
and like I said, in ACS rulebook, any boosted version of the game, practice or not, is clearly stated to be against the rules, and is the the appropriate
Okay,
response is a ban.
okay. I'm not trying to take sides, but if admins have this, why, why is it an issue?
Because it's only for admins, I believe, for observer modes, because they need to be able to see at least the most live. And since broadcasts are like live, they got to get ahead of the broadcast. And Spartan wasn't supposed to be playing on an advantage against everybody else because he was the only one that had the boosted version of the game when he wasn't
Okay, now
supposed to.
let's now there's questions like how did he get it, and yeah, why did he get it, or how did he get one?
He hasn't said. All we know that he said that he knows for a fact he did something wrong.
Okay, well, all right. Well, I mean, I don't know about the year ban though. A year's kind of overdoing it at that point, but
Hmm.
at least more reasonable. I would just say the remainder of the. I don't think you should play any more tournaments unless they have like clear cut details on like for real, like how he got it.
Mm-hmm.
That's different, but there's nothing stating. No one has shown. There's two different stories. It looks like the Spartan story is more because pros are backing him up, which is I'm surprised they are because especially the type of character he is and the person he is. Um,
Well, it's not necessarily that they're backing up. They still believe that he should be banned, just not for a year.
well, yeah, no, I'm saying the same thing. I just don't think that he should be banned for a year.
Yeah.
I just think he, at least for the remainder, at least the tournament
Hmm.
or online tournaments, leading any tournaments online and heading up into the tournament, he shouldn't be playing.
No, yeah, that's totally reasonable. But HCS hasn't said anything since, so Spartan's career basically in Halo is very up in the air. Yeah, he kind of doesn't know where he's going. The HCS scene doesn't know where it's going. We'll see if HCS decides to amend his ban or not. But like Atlanta it's coming up in a month and a half.
And where is FaZe to announce their tickets, man?
Yeah, there's that
Where
too.
is it at? Watch, I say that, and then the next day,
Next day, you mean
Monday,
later today, face like, oh, Atlanta tickets went live.
I
But
will get tickets. I'm gonna get my tickets as soon as they go live. I don't
mhm,
care. I'm going. But yeah, anyways, we'll see.
exactly. We'll see.
The stuff will start coming out more and more.
Yeah.
And if not, then we'll see where Spartan is later down the road.
Yep.
So he can't compete in Halo, but does not mean he can't switch games, right? Or would he?
It's a Halo ban. It's only for Halo.
So would he go back to playing what he originally played?
I don't know, man. Rainbow 16 isn't really alive at all either, to be fair. So I
Don't be
couldn't tell you.
surprised if he starts playing COD,
Hey, it would be funny.
especially after today's news.
We'll see. We'll
We'll
see.
get there.
But speaking of COD, actually, COD had its big it was like a half-hour long showcase showing game modes, gameplay, which looks very exciting, especially the omnidirectional movement, and just some
Which is
other big
insane.
changes to the COD scene. And I'll let you take that away because you're the COD person. But
All right. Well, obviously, this is the first, I guess, showcase in a long time that Microsoft has we've had with COD, and a lot of big stuff has came out about the game. Um, but I'll get into it because it's more to talk about towards the end. I'll talk about it. We should talk about it more towards the end because it's like the big. But we could talk about what's happened throughout the showcase. But as of right now, majority of the games that were announced will be Game Pass day one available.
Yep.
And they announced a lot of good amount of games. I counted 30, including 30. Is that right?
I don't know the exact number actually. I just have the names of all of them.
It has to be 30.
Well, you can keep talking while I count.
So yeah, looks like Xbox is heading towards the free to play, make money off transactions or DLC to be exact.
You're correct. It
Um,
is 30.
30. Think about that. So pretty much the showcase became EA or E3 of the world. Yeah, a bunch of new games, especially with Activision now part of the Microsoft. They have a lot more to go. We saw a bunch of gameplay with Assassin's Creed was there.
Yeah.
We'll get to the Call of Duty because I feel like that's the
So
biggest
you,
focal point of this whole
so you
showcase.
want to just do the showcase first?
Let's get to the showcase and then we'll get to the main pod because it's like the biggest talking point of everything right now.
Okay, because I have every title that was announced pulled up. So for the upcoming titles were for Activision, Bethesda, Blizzard, and overall Xbox Game Studios. Halo fans, we got nothing this year. Fingers crossed we'll get next year. But ironically, since we did not get any Halo news this year, this is the longest Halo drought we've had since Halo 5. Between Halo 5 and Halo Infinite. So 343 better be cooking up something good or we are screwed for the foreseeable future. I'm not. Have you seen the rumors? And they're really, really
Uh,
strong rumors that 343 is developing a Halo's Combat Evolved Anniversary remaster, which is insane because it's a remaster of a remaster, and it will be available on both Xbox, PC, and PlayStation.
no, did not hear anything about this. I've heard a bunch of rumors about a battle royale.
The Battle Royale's been floating around, but this Halo CEA one has been going around a lot recently, especially with the PlayStation part. And just a quick opinion so we don't derail too much. If we go that route, I'm not going to CEA. We already had a Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary, and now you're remastering the Anniversary and putting it on another console. It's the same game again. I'm good.
I said people are gonna get sick of it.
Yeah, but
But
to talk about the games that have there's 30 games, so we'll focus just a little bit on all of them. First game is called Age of
well,
Mythology. Go
wait. Are
ahead.
you going by the order that they were announced,
I'm on
or?
Xbox's website. They have all
So
the.
I'm guessing they're going in the order that they announced them,
I
right?
think so. We'll see as we
Go
go on.
ahead.
But yeah,
Sorry to cut you. Go ahead.
the first game is called. It might be alphabetical order actually. Yeah, it is. So the first game is Age of Mythology. This game had its actually first trailer premiere today. It combines elements from Age of Mythology from 2002 and brings it basically into modern time. So it's like a 20-year remaster almost, which is cool for the people in that franchise. Next game is called Avowed. It actually this game I believe has been teased for about a year or so, and this is the first time that we've
Yeah, it
actually got to
has.
see its actual
It's
story mode showcase.
reveal of it actually.
Yep.
I've yeah, I think we talked about it. It just they just announced it and there was nothing like else besides it.
Yeah.
And it's good to know that we have now some, I guess, a name to a face, I guess, in a way.
Oh yeah.
We'll see, but I mean, it's another game. Yeah. I think most of the games that were announced I think they're all pretty good. They're none were like bad or like no,
I mean,
not worth buying.
it's easy to
They,
make trailers look good. It's just I
yeah,
hopefully
but
these games premiere.
yeah, but the way you could tell that some of them are gonna like they're not gonna be terrible. I don't think they will be terrible. I think they're gonna be good,
Oh yeah.
but it it's good to know that a bunch of games got announced. So,
Mm-hmm.
but we'll see.
No, yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Interested. Sorry.
Next game on this list is COD. We'll talk about it at the end since that one has a whole section for itself. After that, we have Doom: The Dark Ages, which is premiering next year. It was its first worldwide premiere today. It's a single-player FPS game in, of course, the world of Doom, and it's actually a prequel to the 2016 Doom. Then we have Fable, the next installment in the Fable series. I don't. This series has been going on for.
Fable's been going for a while.
Yep. and we'll also be
which means
premiering next year.
Fable. I mean, it's like a game. They have their community. Obviously, they must be doing something right to proceed. I guess releasing these games.
Hmm.
They probably know something that most people that who don't play it know.
Hmm.
If I haven't, I've heard about it, but I just never played it or seen anything about it. But I've heard about it and what's about.
Yeah.
But it's cool that there's still a game going on for this long, and they're still getting more games coming out. Good for them.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Next, we have what we thought was going to be called Gears 6, but it's actually called Gears of War E-Day, which is the next mainline installment in Gears. It's had a trailer debut today, and was actually the last trailer they showed before they transitioned on to the Call of Duty section. So it looks, I mean, it's Gears. It always looks fun. The trailer looks really cool, but obviously we don't know how it's going to play. But it is running on the Unreal Engine 5. So hopefully it runs pretty nicely.
Dude, from what it seems like, this is taking place before the first Gears of Wars. Because those are the young versions of those characters of Marcus and Dom.
Yes, that's what it says. 14 years before Gears of War.
So this is probably like the start of the, I guess what would you call those? The herd or
The Horde, yeah.
the so it's probably like gonna be like a story of before it, like whatever it led to being that. You'll get to learn the character a lot more before.
Hmm.
It's pretty interesting that they didn't go and continue on from five.
Yeah.
I know five had a lot of critiques and criticism.
I mean, 5 kind of, whoever followed the Gears esports scene, 5 killed the Gears esports scene. So,
So, um, I think Gears might come back. I mean, I think the comp scene will come back with this game. I think it's just I don't know. The story just didn't make sense, and people were a lot more shocked to see that it didn't the direction that it didn't go. They
hmm.
were expecting it to lead off to from after five.
Hmm.
But I'm not surprised that they proceeded not to go after that because of how much criticism the game got.
Hmm.
I'm not saying the game was bad. It's just okay. Maybe it was bad because the whole goddamn competitive scene got demolished because of it.
Yeah.
But it seems like an interesting. I guess you're gonna learn more about the whole start of, I guess the have or
The
the
Horde.
herd or whatever.
Yeah.
And you're gonna the characters are start. So I don't think it's a reboot. I just think it's, I guess, the beginning of before of everything.
Yeah.
So um, it's pretty cool. We kind of did expect some Gears like thing to come out today.
Yeah.
But just now one expected it to be, what was it called? E-Day?
E-Day, yeah.
Instead of six. So I mean, either way, pretty cool. I'm excited to see what did they announce? They have no announced date on that one yet. So
It does
I
not say a
don't.
date yet, but I would
So
assume late next year.
probably
Yeah.
no. I mean, maybe not because a bunch of other games were announced for next year in a later date too. So I don't think they have an official release date. I think I'm aiming for 2026,
26? Okay.
like early. Maybe you're right. Maybe December 2025 ish, which makes probably more sense too. Um, Usually they wait because they have to make minor tweaks. Obviously we know that by Halo because
Yeah.
they made a game, showed it was trash, delayed it for a year, was worth it, and now I think they should have just delayed it another 10 more years because holy
10
fuck.
more years. Good
Um,
lord.
because now they're already in talks about making a new Halo, and it sucks. So it
Never forget that
sucks.
Halo Infinite was supposed to last for 10 years, bro. But, to keep on topic, yeah, Gears didn't actually release a date yet, but like I said, I think maybe late next year, if not, then like you said, early 2026. But to move, also disclaimer: not all of these games will be available on the Xbox One anymore. A lot of these games will be Xbox Series X and S playable only with PC. So the Xbox One, I think, is starting to finally move out of the phase out zone, since it's kind of holding back the development of some of these newer graphically enhanced games, which makes
I
sense,
mean,
you know.
I don't expect Gears E Day to be on the old gen if it's running on Unreal Engine 5.
Yeah.
Oh, and then we should have talked about that one game that's getting a bunch of hype about. You saw the videos of wait, sorry to interrupt the segment we're in, but there's a game that's going viral of a body cam style game.
Hmm.
Have you noticed it on Twitter? That
Yeah,
looks
I think
really, really realistic,
yeah.
which is insane. It's pretty crazy how the Unreal 5 engine is, and to hear that it's going to be Gears of War is going to be running, so I can't. Uh, I mean, we're going to start slowly seeing transitions into the Unreal 5 engine with more time. With time,
Hmm.
um, but yeah. Sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good. It's
I
exciting
forgot we
stuff.
should. There's something we should have talked about earlier.
No, it's all
But
good. It's very exciting stuff to see games. I mean, Unreal Engine 5 is good for games that need to look realistic. So, like your CODs, your Halos, your Gears. So, it does make sense that they're moving towards that. But for other games like your Valorants, your Leagues, your Fortnites, they're probably gonna. Oh, Fortnite actually is on Unreal Engine 5. I think it's because the
yeah, it
physics,
is
yeah, because
the
the physics
physics.
aspects as well. So I guess yeah, you probably will see more games actually transition to Unreal Engine over the next
Eh,
5, 10 years if
Hey
it
man,
does
I gotta
change.
give props to Fortnite because they're doing this without releasing a new version of the game.
Yeah, yeah.
They just, it's crazy. There was just another thing. What is this? Let me put a pause to this segment again. What is this thing that I'm hearing about Valorant console? Is this
Oh,
a
so
thing?
if I don't think you remember, but about 2 years ago, Riot Games did a big announcement saying we're making like a fighting games, we're making a shooter game, we're doing all this, and we've got Val. And they also said in that conference that Val will eventually come to console. They never said a date, but of course, as you heard the past month, they're doing testing for Val on Xbox and PlayStation. And Val will be premiering on Xbox and PlayStation, I believe, later this year, but it's a brand new game. It is
Oh,
not
yeah.
cross-platform with Val on PC because it plays differently. It has aim assist. The controls are. It's to make it so console players can actually play. Unlike if you guys remember when Counter Strike Go was on Xbox, it was impossible to play with a controller.
Rust. You ever heard about the game Rust?
Rust as well, yeah.
Holy
But
crap! I thought it was gonna be pretty good on console. That thing was terrible.
it's really bad because those tend to be just ports of the PC edition, and it does not work with how controllers work. So the Valorant console edition will be cross-platform between PS and Xbox, and it's like it's made for controllers. So if you're good at controller shooters, you're probably going to be good at Val. And
We're
it's
gonna
going
play
to
it or
be
what?
it'll be interesting because like will they make a whole new Val competitive scene for console? Because that's going to be a whole different community that will have a different playstyle. We don't know. We'll see. Like remember when they made League for mobile, and now there's a mobile League competitive scene. So,
Yeah, but League,
no,
dude.
yeah,
League is a different story.
no, yeah, exactly, exactly.
Um,
But it's
but yeah,
fun to see. No, no, no,
sorry to.
you're good.
I feel like we should have talked about it because I was seeing a bunch of stuff coming of on Twitter about it, and I'm like, what is this thing that I'm first time hearing about it?
Hmm.
Like more of. I remember they announced. Obviously, we got Valorant because they announced a shooter type game of like League of Legends, but uh, I mean, it's whatever. Just sorry, I had to bring it up because I just saw it on my feed earlier today.
No, you're good.
But yeah, go ahead. We were talking about
We just finished talking about
Gears.
Gears, so the next game that they announced was it wasn't really an announcement, but we had a new trailer for the Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Again, like I think Xbox said, all these games are going to be available day one on Game Pass, which is cool if you want to try it out. But the trailer looked very, very fun.
Oh my goodness, bro! I didn't know it was Indiana Jones. It took me a second, and then I was like, wait. I saw what gave it away. Like was like obviously the famous whip.
Hmm.
Um, and obviously the classical famous music that goes with it. But it looks really good. I was like actually, I was watching. Obviously, I was watching it, but then that thing was like the one that caught my attention the most. And yeah, it looks really good. It might be the first. It looks. How many? Is there any James games besides that Lego? Yeah,
There's
right.
been a
There's.
few of them.
This one looks
There's a
really good
decent
though.
amount. Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, that one looked like the the most like eye catching out of all the other ones besides like obviously the big titles like Gears and COD. But yeah, it looks really good, and I'm actually excited and can't wait to see more. I guess um, I guess gameplay on it
Yeah.
and or trailers. If it's given that Assassin's Creed type of like vibe roam, like the way they Assassin's Creed play like the free roam,
Hmm.
then I think it's gonna be a lot better than I expected. But we don't know yet. I really do hope it's a free roam type of game. I feel like that type of game should be like that. Obviously, we'll see. But it looks good though. I
Yeah,
got
exactly.
nothing better or anything else like good things to say about it.
Yeah, exciting stuff. The next one is if anyone's familiar with Microsoft Flight Simulator, we're already getting the next edition. I can't believe it's been 4 years, but Flight Simulator 2024 will be one of the few games premiering this year in on November 19th. Already, Flight Simulator 2020 already is like the most advanced flight simulator of all time, and the fact that they're already making a new one is kind of insane. But hey,
What
that
is there's I saw a bunch of like I was reading the the comments or like the live chats. He's like, can't wait to play this game on 22p or something like that. You know how they've
Oh, yeah, yeah.
people have like struggled to like load up, but that's because they don't have good PCs or like stuff like that. But yeah, it's
I mean, Flight Simulator is probably one of the hardest games to run because it is quite literally the entire planet. So it's one of the few games that is Earth-sized. You
well,
and all the flight distances are real life flight distances. Like if you fly from Orlando to Atlanta in an hour, it takes an hour in game. You fly from Atlanta to where Honolulu, it'll take you 12 hours to get there in game, and you load the entire map as you fly, and it's hefty for your PC.
yeah, yeah. I think this is some. I don't know how if it's true or not, but they like people that are preparing to learn how to fly planes and stuff like that. I've heard they use this like the simulator to I guess manipulate the real deal to
Mm-hmm.
get the real um to make it a smoother transition when you first fly
Yeah.
because of how well detailed and realistic the game is and how well they put their time and effort preparing and I guess making it crafting it to a point where it's similar to the real deal.
I mean, yeah, because
Obviously,
the game has real weather conditions. The planes have every single like control that you have in a plane in real life. You have it in the same thing in your setup. The planes they sell like you know how racing games they sell like the wheels and the steering and all the stuff. The flight simulator games will sell you the steering sticks and all the buttons and everything that a pilot actually has to do. And you can set it up in a motion cockpit and have basically what actual pilots train with. So
yeah,
it's impressive.
it's crazy that I mean, obviously, like you said, the one from 4 years ago was pretty advanced, but um, it seems like they're adding more things to the game too. So, but obviously, they're doing their best to make. I mean, there's a big community. I know there's a community for this. There always has, and obviously, they use this for practicing as well. We'll see when there was no gameplay. I don't remember. I saw it, but I didn't
I
remember seeing
mean, the
gameplay. There's
trailer
no.
is the gameplay because those are in-game graphics. That is the game that they showed.
I
Yep.
mean, I was hoping like someone like they have someone like practice like in and take videos like you know what I mean,
No, no, no.
like how COD did theirs where they show them playing the game
No, they don't really have. I
like
mean,
that.
because all flight simulators are going to be somewhat similar in the end. It's just how realistic can they push the engine each time they make a new version. So cannot
Can't
complain.
wait. Will the next one be after this one? You think they'll try to move it or like try it on the Unreal Engine
Well,
or
it's interesting because this is only the fourth flight simulator game they've made. Because there was one in the 1980s, and they made one in 2006. Then we have the one from 2020. So the gaps are huge, and then you just have
but
one 4 years
they've
later, which is
shrunk. They've the time frame has shrunk of
yeah.
a good amount. But if we do see another one, I won't be surprised if it's announced on Unreal Engine 5.
Mhm.
But the game looks way realistic without it. So
Hey,
I mean, the
Microsoft
only
is
way they
doing
can
their
just
thing, man.
yeah, it looks like that's something they really do appreciate and take their time making, and it's always been good. I mean, obviously we've played it as trolly, but there's actually people out there that play it and like they do it to experience, I guess, this type of, I mean, flying a plane, stuff like
It's
that.
the same way that people enjoy farming simulators. Is the same way that people enjoy flying simulators.
I love Farming Simulator. That game was fun.
Exactly. So
But
it's
anyways,
all cool. Next, we have a game from the initiative called Perfect Dark. It had its first gameplay trailer today. It features it's a reboot of the original series featuring the main character Joanna Dark from the original Perfect Dark. So although it's interesting that there's a decent amount of remasters or reboots in this
the showcase.
showcase. Yeah. No, that one's also like I said again. All these are going on Game Pass day one, which is Xbox's move right now. Next we have let's see, this game is called South of Midnight. It's a third-person action adventure game that comes from the studios called Compulsion Games and will be also releasing next year. Basically, you are, what does it say? So it says you meet Hazel and her newly revealed companion, a catfish, as they travel through a flooded area inspired by the Mississippi Delta, and you find yourself going up against monsters trying to survive and whatnot. So, cool little survival game. Next
Hmm.
we have this game has been teased for a long time, State of Decay 3. Everyone's big zombie open world zombie survival game. I don't feel like I have to talk much about State of Decay because it's also one of those big franchises that most people knows about. But if you don't know, you're surviving against zombies in a world that has been taken over by zombies, and it's an open world game, so you got to go scavenge, hunt, find shelter, whatnot. You know, good old outdoor zombie game. Next, we have Assassin's Creed Shadows. We already had a trailer before, but now we actually had a gameplay reveal of how it plays. As expected, it's an Assassin's Creed game. You can do Assassin's Creed stuff. But we also don't have all the full details because Ubisoft will be doing a gameplay walkthrough tomorrow. So we'll get more details to talk about the week after. So there's that. And this game comes out on November 15th. Next, we have Atomfall, which is one of the few games that will also be premiering on the Xbox One. It takes place in the British countryside. It's inspired off of a nuclear disaster that happened in England in 1957, and you're basically trying to live in the quarantine zone 5 years after the event, and you see how you can survive in like this apocalyptic post-war environment, I'd say.
Hmm.
Next, you have what's this game called? Claire Obscure Expedition 33. It's a turn-based RPG game. You get transported to a world that's based off of France, in this like very like 1800s time period where you're going on impossible quests that you have to complete, or you die essentially. So there's that. This one did not have a date actually announced for its release date, so we are unsure at the moment. Next, we have next game from what's it called? BioWare. It's called Dragon Age: The Veilguard and the Dragon Age series, another long-running series for expanding the Dragon Age world and stories and whatnot. So very fun for that fan base. Next, we have another game that is also premiering on Xbox One. It's called Flintlock: The Siege of Dawn. This game actually premieres 1 month from now. It is made by Ashen Developer. Um, you're basically fighting against gods who have invaded your world, and guess what? You gotta defeat them. So it plays a lot. If you've ever played the Souls games, it plays a lot
Uh,
like those. Yeah.
okay. Well,
Next, we have Fragpunk. This game is getting a lot of flack right now because this is a game. When I first was watching the trailer, I thought it was the Valorant trailer for console, but it's not. It's a game that's trying to be like Valorant on console, coming out around the same time that Valorant's releasing on console. It'll have 14 weapons, 4 maps, and 10 heroes when it releases. It's 5v5 shooter. It's literally Valorant on console. I don't know what to say about it.
I don't know what to say either. I thought it was the I was like, "Is this Val?" And then I looked at him like, "Oh, what is this?" And then I kind of like zoned out of it.
No, you're good.
I feel like there's so many games like this days. It's just
I think
I was like, it's just
it's
another
a
one.
bad thing to copy Val on console when Val is coming on console. Because now
It's
you're not gonna have an audience.
yeah.
It's like you remember when Splitgate came out and then Halo came out right after. They all went to Halo. Splitgate died.
And they announced that we're gonna make another one or a different game and still have yet to announce anything about that. But
Yeah.
damn, Split Week was good, bro. For like a week. And then Halo came out and then damn.
There's no reason to play this anymore, and I feel like it's gonna be the same with this game. Like it'll probably release before Val, but the second Val releases on Xbox, everyone's gonna move over. There's no point to stay here. But next we have the next installment in the Life is Strange series, Life is Strange Double Exposure. You follow back with the original cast, and the trailer showed that you're trying to figure out how to save your friend who died in one reality, but if you save them in another reality, another one of your friends dies. So you got to figure out how to toe the line.
That one caught my attention
Mm-hmm.
like really well, more than anything. Well, but from the other besides like obviously the big one, Gears, Halo, not Halo. Damn it, to have it. Gears, COD, the Fallout, right? Fallout 76 was announced,
Fallout 76 was like 5 years ago, man.
or another Fallout was announced.
I don't. I gotta read back. I
Or
don't
am I
remember.
tripping?
I don't think there's a Fallout announced, but if there is, I'll run into it on this. But
Like,
I think the biggest games were COD,
yeah,
Gears, Assassin's Creed, Life is Strange, and there's one more that I already said. I don't remember what it was. Do you remember? State of Decay,
Perfect Dark,
Perfect Dark, yeah.
Fable.
Fable, Indiana. There's actually a lot of these games
Yeah,
are really
there's
big.
a Fallout 76. Yeah, there's another one, but we'll get to you'll probably talk about it. Yeah,
We'll
we'll
see.
get there.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah, Life is Strange. It should be a fun game. This game releases on October 29th. But if you pre-order, you'll be able to play the first two chapters on October 15th. But from my experience, do not pre-order games. Just play it when they release. Next we have Mecha Break. This game caught me off guard because, I like robots and Gundam. And this is just a Gundam game.
Gundam. I thought it was a Gundam game. I really did.
That's what I was like,
I
wait a minute.
oh, I was like, is this a game that went under the radar that no one talked about? I thought Mark would have known, but I thought it was Gundam's like version of a game, but I guess not.
No, no, no. But yeah, you have
So
mechas, you have a 6v6 battlefield mode, a 3v3 arena mode, and a 60-player PvEVP mode. So that's a lot of people in one server. Hopefully it's good, because sometimes these big mecha games can either be okay or really, really bad. So
isn't there what game is similar to like that type of style?
there's
Destiny, right?
no, there's actually a really big mecha game on PC. I don't remember what it's called, but it's like the 6th version, and it's really popular and it's really good. Destiny, no, that's the two different games.
Is
But
it not like the same? Oh,
no, not at all. Because
like
you're
like
you're just fighting in robots.
Destiny? You're talking about
Destiny? No,
you're
I
talking
mean
about the
the
other game.
mecha game. You're just fighting in
Okay,
robots. Yeah,
yeah, okay,
so it's not
that's
like
whatever.
Destiny. But this game also premieres. It premieres on the Xbox Series X in August of this year, and will be available to PC next year. So
So
Xbox is
not
getting
original.
a huge gap between the two releases for the two places. I think it was probably made for console first, and then they're going to export it to PC, which is interesting. The next game we have Metal Gear Solid. How do they
Another
pronounce it?
installment.
Snake Eater. Yeah, Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater. It's weird because like it says Metal Gear Solid, and it's like the triangle, the Greek symbol of the triangle. I
It's the
forgot what it's
logo
called.
of the game, dude.
Yeah. But yeah,
But
Snake
yes,
Eater, it's the next installment in the Metal Gear Solid series, will be on Unreal Engine 5. It's the first trailer, but we don't know when it's coming out just yet. Next, we have Mixtape, which is another game coming out in 2025. Also, one of the few games available on Xbox One. Basically, you're three high school. You ever watched Euphoria?
yeah.
Imagine that as a video game. Imagine Euphoria and like some stuff from like Stranger Things as a video game. That
It was
vibe.
giving. They were giving you that vibe.
Yeah.
I didn't watch this one.
It was like
I think I
the
like.
high schoolers, and they're like, we're talking about high school stuff, the romance, the drama, the going out late at night doing shenanigans. You know. And it has some pretty. It's apparently they're really pushing the soundtrack for it because it's supposed to be echoing the late '90s, early 2000s vibe. So maybe a nostalgic game for some people. But next game we have is Stalker 2, which is obviously a sequel to Stalker 1. This is Stalker 2, The Heart of Chernobyl. Takes place in Ukraine. It's actually made by a Ukrainian studio, so as you know what's going on in Ukraine, but they're still able to push out still really good video game stuff. The game, of course, is going to be like the first Stalker in fully Ukrainian with subtitles, so should be fun. Next we have another game that's going to be on Xbox One and other consoles called Winter Burrow. It's supposed to be a cozy survival experience, or you're like, it's like it's not an 8-bit game, but like a chibi style game where you're like in a winter area trying to survive. So a fun like story-based game that you can play in probably 12 or so hours. Next we have Wu Chang, The Fallen Feathers, which had its reveal today. So you go into the dark and tumultuous world, and you're fighting in the late Ming Dynasty in Imperial China. You're a pirate that has been struck with amnesia, and you're trying to discover who you are and discover who you are because you're a pirate, and you fight and try to protect humanity from this darkness that is coming out from like an ancient background. Now, for updates for games that have already been released, you have Diablo 4, The Vessel of Hatred, releases in October. It's DLC to the current Diablo 4, so not much to say there. You have Elder Scrolls Online, which is adding a brand new section to their world. Elder Scrolls has been going out forever. You have Fallout 76, which has an expansion called Skyline Valley, which its release will be on June 12th, so actually I believe that's when one day before this episode comes out, so it would have not one day. Yeah, one day. Wednesday. It would be Wednesday. And then you have Sea of Thieves Season 13, which updates called Being Bad Can Sometimes Feel Good. You're showing off the dark side of Sea of Thieves. And then you have Starfield Shatter, which is of course the next update to the Starfield game. This game unfortunately kind of dropped off the radar after its very, very rocky debut. We'll see if it's able to get any sort of momentum from this update, but time will tell. And then we have, and this update will come in June. And then we have World of Warcraft's update called Darkness Calls, which is coming out on August 26th. And some new hardware announcements, because that's all the games. We're getting 3 new Xbox consoles. New as in, same console, you just rip out the disc drive, the same thing they did with the Xbox One, basically.
And they slightly changed the color.
Yeah, we got new colors. We got Galaxy Black, which is it's still black. You have Robot White, which is white. It's just an off-white. So, yeah, new Xbox. Your friends gonna be like, "What Xbox is that?" Xbox Series. What do they even call this?
Dude, I don't know what they. What is it? The Xbox Series X?
The all digital Xbox Series X and the all digital Xbox Series X Special Edition. Yeah,
that's new console. It might be updated software, but like it's still the
same software.
It's just different colors.
The same software.
I like when she said like, "Hey, new colors." I'm like, "Oh my god, colors! We're gonna get blue, green, purple, black." More
that's
like.
That's what I was thinking. Like they showed the image, like that's the same.
I saw like the first I saw a white one, a black one. I'm like, all right, these are the originals. And then I thought they're just gonna pop out a bunch of different
that is the new color.
The only thing that looked cool was the controller with the that's black and had the green back.
Mm-hmm.
That one looks nice, but I don't use that shit.
Hey man. So, also, the Xbox Series S and Robot White will be 1 terabyte. The Xbox Series X Digital, the Galaxy Edition, will be 2 terabytes. So yeah, that's the only difference. That there's the X has the same space. The Digital Edition has an extra terabyte. But a lot of people are also saying, actually, I saw some flack for Xbox saying that consoles these days, 1 terabyte was a lot 10 years ago. Unfortunately, 1 terabyte is no longer enough because games like COD take up 300 gigabytes. If I were to install COD now on my OG Xbox One, which came with 500 gigs, I have space for one other game then, which would be like Halo, because that's like Halo 5 took up 120 gigs. So, because games these days, especially COD, take up way too much space. So, unfortunately, a terabyte is no longer enough space for a console. Your PC has like what, 3 terabytes almost?
Yeah, and it's taking up half of one because of COD and Halo.
Like the games these days take up so much space. So going forward, whatever the next real console is, will have to be probably a minimum of 2 terabytes or more. Unless games can now compress their graphics and stuff into a smaller package instead of COD saying, "Free for all, I am your console. You can't play anything else." But speaking of COD, that's it for the Xbox Showcase. We move on to the Call of Duty World Reveal, which has a lot of stuff about the campaign, zombies, and multiplayer. So you take it away.
The game is going to be godlike. Just the way that they presented this game, obviously they had to. It's the main focal point of the showcase.
Mm-hmm.
So the game, Black Ops 6, it's kind of trolly because there was no Black Ops 5, but Cold War counts. But this is taking place after the Cold War game. So it's probably going to be like the same style of era as guns. But what was more, say, at I guess the focal point was the movement,
Mm-hmm.
which caught my attention to a point where I don't even know how to pronounce the new movement. What is it called?
It was the
Omni movement.
omnidirectional movement.
Okay,
So, the way to explain it is that, you know, in not just COD, but most shooter games, you can only run straight. Wherever you're looking is the only way that you can run. But now in COD, if you're facing straight but moving your
it's
thumbstick to like the right, the left, or back, you can sprint backwards. You can sprint left and right, but still be facing a different direction, which has
so
not been seen in other
pretty
games.
much how the new version of Fortnite is played now.
No, not even, because
That's how it
Fortnite,
reminds
you,
me
you
of.
can't sprint to the left or right in
Well,
Fortnite.
well, yeah, but the way their movement of the characters are, it's kind of like that. But obviously, this one is a lot more advanced.
Mm.
It's it really is gonna diverse COD, I guess, era now, especially with this type of movement.
Shot say he's gonna
Um,
have a field day.
he might be the best player of all time after this. But yeah, um, I I was more intrigued about the movement more than anything.
Mm.
You could dive and shoot. The way they said it was they want to make it realistic to real life, a
Mm.
way a real person would move, and instead of the clunky movement, which is not bad. Obviously, it's a video game, but this makes the game more realistic. It makes it more realistic than Battlefield at this point. Battlefield, um, so they've made it more easier for the casuals and obviously for the people that are sweats. They even said it like that. It's more so for the average and casual players.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you could your customization. I guess how can I explain it? The hub on display of the game. I guess you could, or is that the right way I'm saying? So you know how Halo has like their gun, I mean their ammo, the bullets, and stuff like that.
No, yeah, it's your HUD,
So
the HUD, which shows like Angel said, you have your health bar, your ammo, whatever.
so so it's probably the most like I guess customizable slash they turn in the game to a point where you'll be able to move it to your liking anywhere. They even said it was made for your favorite streamers to fix the way or I mean display their games or the layout. So it's if you don't want your mini map on the top left, you can move it to the bottom mid, left side, right side. It's your preference.
Mm.
Same with the bullets, the ammo. which is unheard of because of how many times people have been wanting this thing type of feature in just games in general. I would have liked that in Halo. I mean, Halo used to have it differently right back then. Now it's just pretty much copying everyone else's style. Um, movement is like what caught my attention the most. Obviously, the campaign. Obviously, I said it. It's supposed to lead back to Black Ops Cold War, multiplayer movements like what caught it. They want they want the game to be where you don't have to press so many more buttons. Obviously, they showed a little snippet of you of a player with just pressing 5 buttons, and then there was a next clip of when they changed the settings. They made it where the player didn't have to press any buttons once, and they said that they wanted to do this to make it main focus of what the player's intent is for the game is to just run around and shoot, which is what the intention is instead of worrying about the movement, worrying about doing this. They're focusing more on the game, the aspect of what they're made for is just running around and shooting things. Um, obviously,
I imagine though
zombies.
things like that will be probably disabled in ranked, because that is all about what you can actually do.
Maybe. Um, I see it more so it's going to benefit the people with disabilities too. It should make the game I guess more in a playing field for everybody, which is good. I mean, this game has the potential to be one of the best Call of Duties, if not the greatest Call of Duty ever made. It's just the most hyped it's ever been. And I mean, they're changing the game by a lot. Like this is not like traditional Call of Duty anymore. The movement itself is what is making the game a lot more. Um, Treyarch has always done a great job with games. They haven't had ever bad reputation on their games, um, and it's good. So, Zombies obviously was announced, and it was the main focal point for most people that they miss OG round-based zombies, and they are bringing that back with two, I guess, maps. Yeah, they did. They
Yeah,
said
because
that two.
on here it says Black Ops 6 also marks their epic return of round-based zombies, a fan favorite mode, blah blah blah. Expect 2 brand new maps at launch and an impressive number of secrets to discover.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they're going off the I forgot the name of the storyline, but it's going off that storyline, and it's good. Um, but more so is the how do I say it? They're trying to make the game more appealing for everyone's preference.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so they're just doing as much as best as to make it more balanced, and it looks like it's promising, and they are coming to. I mean, they are coming through with their promises.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's a lot to speak of, and it's just a little bit they've announced. It was just a little bit. Think about it. Obviously they sneak. They kind of like sneak a little teaser into Warzone, which means there's going to be another Warzone coming out,
Mm-hmm.
which makes sense. Obviously, this is a whole different movement, and they have to release another game for the game. Some new, I guess, style or mechanic, which could be good and bad. Just depends on the Warzone community being able to function.
Yeah.
It's so much to talk about, because of how much they announced, even with not. I mean, obviously they announced they're gonna announce another thing at COD next, which is where they invite streamers, pro players to come out and try the game, ask for feedback like they do every year. So we'll start seeing that gameplay
Yep.
soon, and
Did you
I'm
bring
guessing
up
it's August. Right?
the amount of maps for day one yet, or
Oh no, I didn't know.
no? Because I can. Okay, I'll do that real
Oh,
quick.
go ahead.
Yeah. So it says on day one there will be 16 brand new maps. So none of these will be rehashes from previous CODs as we've seen in previous titles, and it will include 12 core 6v6 maps and 4 small strike maps, and then we'll have standalone locations that will be played in 2v2 or face-off 6v6 maps. So,
which is cool because it's really good that the maps that they're making for 2v2s will work also for 6v6, which is a good thing. Obviously, we've seen COD has made different maps for these game modes, but they are going back to the original 3-lane style, which I'm pretty happy about. I'm tired of different lanes on different sides. It's like so many lanes. 3 lanes is just perfect. Not too much more to look at. You feel like you're looking at it almost every corner you look at, you're looking in a different lane. So,
mm,
um, yeah, I'm pretty excited. Um, everything, campaign, multiplayer, and zombies looks really good. It's really very, very, how would I say, the most anticipated COD in such a long time,
mm,
which is a good thing. And obviously, people were saying there's going to be a lot of hype around it, and it seems like it's going to deliver, just from the stuff they talked. And I said it again. I'll say it. I said it multiple times, and I'll say it again. Cherrick has always done great with COD, and obviously with Microsoft, they seem like they've always done a great thing together.
mm.
We've seen it with Black Ops 2. They've done great things, especially with the competitive scene. Maybe we will see Halo revive or improve this scene. Um, so I'm very excited, and I've been waiting for a COD to hopefully bring me back to my enjoyment of playing COD every day instead
I
of
mean,
playing these remakes and reboots, and it's just so much to talk about with
for
so
me,
much.
like personally, this might be the first. It's on Game Pass. I'm not sure. Do you still have your Xbox Game Pass subscription on
Yeah,
console?
stupid. Yeah. No,
Okay,
well, it's the same thing, right?
I don't remember because if it's on
Because I bought
console,
it. I bought it on console, but when I got the PC and I logged in, it still had it. I
if
think I have
it's
it.
available on Game Pass day one, I might join you. If it's not on Game Pass, I will just straight up buy the game myself. This is the first time I've been actually like interested in a COD in so long. So
Well, you gotta hope that they announce that if it's coming out for the Xbox One
it
console.
will be on the Xbox One.
Dang.
So will it run great? We don't know, but it will be on the
Well,
Xbox
it'll
One.
run better on yours than it would on mine.
Yeah, yeah.
But I do have to upgrade my graphics card, so yeah, that needs to be more personal. But yes, this is very, very exciting. It's pretty weird seeing caught up there with Xbox again or the Microsoft, but they've done great things together. So
Yeah,
I
we're so
don't.
used to saying the PS4 showcase or the PS5 showcase.
Oh,
Call of Duty Limited will be coming on PS like a month before every other console.
that's literally. Thank God you said that. The first thing he said is that no one is gonna get the game or anything earlier than anybody. Everyone's gonna get it at the same time. So that's good. And Game Pass for the win.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still gonna buy it. Obviously, I want to get the bundles. I've always get the bundles no matter what.
Mhm.
But if it's gonna be free on Game Pass, which is it's gonna be pretty crazy to think that you won't have to buy the $70 game anymore. And we talked about that COD. We didn't ever think it would go to a point where it'll become free. Technically, it's almost free
Yeah.
if Game Pass. Obviously pay for Game Pass, but the thing that all you would need is just Game Pass. You won't have to buy the game. And to this to the day, I didn't believe something like this could happen
Mhm.
or ever happen because it's just unrare. But because Microsoft sees the bigger picture and they want to benefit everybody, since they are, I guess, obviously the consoles they adore and love the most. PCs players are getting love now. They were always getting left out. So pretty excited for this future of Xbox and obviously COD. Um, Yeah, but Game Pass when it first got announced a couple years ago. Obviously, I'm already done with what I gotta say. But when Game Pass came out, people critiqued it for what but it was a start of a new era for them, and it ended up being the best thing they did.
Hmm.
Obviously, they make a lot of money off of this now, especially with now we talked about the removal of Xbox Live Gold. Now Game Pass taking its place, and it comes with a lot more benefits than it did. So imagine playing thousands of different games every month for bare minimum 20 bucks.
Hmm.
It's a little pricey, but you got to think about the things that you get from it and what it's its description is like. But big reveal for Xbox today. They've really stepped up their game, and they are they're making big moves with the I guess the acquirements that they picked up the last year and a half.
Oh yeah.
So really excited for this era of Xbox, and can't wait to see what more when games get more announcements. And but yeah, with that, that's all the COD as of right now. Obviously, we'll know more with COD next, which is and then. Did they announce a beta yet? I know they said there was gonna be a beta, but I don't think they announced a beta.
Let me see.
I don't think they did, right?
I don't remember them saying anything about a beta.
Usually the beta comes out like around the same time as COD Next, so
Yeah. So we're just
um,
gonna wait a little bit, but should be very exciting. Our first COD that takes place in the 1990s. Cold War, not Cold War. Well, the end actually it is the end of the Cold War era actually. So a nice cap to that period and start into the
it's
Gulf
it's
War.
it's good because I'm tired of playing. Well, there's nothing wrong with the modern day games, but I'm tired of playing like games where the gun is just wood. I'm tired of that. Don't take me back. No one likes the era of COD. No, I'm okay with the Cold War version of this like era.
Well, since it's the 90s, you now you have guns that are still even being used today. Even technology and just overall weaponry that's being used today was still present in the 1990s. So it should be fun. It's the middle ground for people who like CODs that are pre 80s, but CODs that are also like in the modern warfare period. You get to
It,
mend both of them.
the way like I read a comment or Reddit, it's probably like the first COD where the older and newer generation can like know about
Mm.
because we learned about this stuff in school and obviously people that experienced it during that time.
Yeah.
So it's more like the most like where everyone meets the middle of all generations,
Mm-hmm.
which is pretty good. That's good to hear that type of like that comment, especially for a game. So it looks like everyone can relate and know, well, not relate, but obviously know about the Cold War era because obviously old and present. But yeah, but I'm just blabbing at this point. But it's just so much that we just experienced within a 1 hour and a half span.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's pretty. It's gonna be the year of Xbox. There's no way.
It's very
Unless
exciting.
PlayStation drops the ball with like a new game or a new console. Um, but
No, yeah, we,
we'll
we gotta
see.
see what comes up. There's not gonna be a new console. They'll do the same thing as Xbox, like a digital version or whatever. But very exciting times. Very exciting, especially for Xbox, because like I said,
Well,
majority of these games have now moved away from the Xbox One, with only I think 6 of the 30 titles I mentioned only being available on all versions of the Xbox.
that's still insane to think about. That there's still a couple games that are obviously these are the games that are going to release with it are not heavy graphic games, which makes sense why they could run on them.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still crazy to think that Xbox is not fully killing away from the original Xbox One yet.
The issue is that still a majority of Xbox fans, including myself, haven't upgraded to the Xbox Series S or X. We we haven't had much of a draw to do it, and of course, also the first 2 years, just finding a Series X and X was basically impossible unless you're willing to shell out a lot of money for third-party buys. So now they're forcing us to upgrade. So either and for me, probably I'm not gonna go to the Series X or S. I'm just gonna upgrade my PC so I can run like you. And I imagine many Xbox fans might move that same way, and I think that's somewhat concerning for console, because then what if that kills off the Xbox entirely? We might need to be able to see some Xbox exclusives that aren't available on PC, because everything they've announced is cross-platform, Xbox and PC. The only exclusive will be Valorant, which is already on PC. So
Nothing
we'll
hurts.
see what Xbox will do, but the games are exciting. The lifespan of the console is what's worrying. We don't know what the future of Xbox has in store for when the next console war happens in the next 3 or 4 years. But that's for a different time. That was the Xbox showcase and just our general esports and general news topics for today. So if you want to close us out,
That's my name's Assassin. That is SMGFrenzy. Changing it up a little bit. That concludes the podcast for this week. We'll see you guys back next week. But with that, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn on that notification bell so you know when we upload. Comment down below what you like from the Xbox Showcase, what you're excited about, what games intrigued you, or what you are excited or didn't like about it, and comment and ask Mark about his Hawaii trip. And yeah, go back and watch the other videos on the channel. We have a lot of stuff, and we still got more stuff to go. And we'll with that, I got nothing much to say. But follow our socials on the down below. Follow our Twitches at what is it? Twitch.tv/SMG, or is it SMG Frenzy?
Yep.
Okay, and then mine's at Twitch.tv ADC Assassin. Follow our socials, same thing. Don't change. But we'll see you guys in the next one, and we'll see you back next week for the daily dose or
Weekly
weekly dose of podcast.
Yep.
See you guys.
Bye.
Peace.